Have you ever stopped to wonder if the world around you is real? Not just in the am I dreaming kind of way, but really think, what if the people you meet, the places you go, even the sky above you, are nothing more than constructs of your mind? What if everything you experience is just a reflection of your own consciousness? This isn't a plot from a sci-fi movie. It's a philosophical idea called solipsism. It suggests that the only thing you can be certain of is the existence of your own mind. Intrigued? You're watching the Soul Mirror channel, and today, we're diving into one of the most unsettling yet fascinating concepts in philosophy. What is solipsism? At its core, solipsism is the idea that only your mind can be certain to exist. Everything you see, feel, and experience, it's all happening inside your head. The world around you, the people you know, they might all just be figments of your imagination. Sounds unsettling, right? But solipsism isn't about proving the world doesn't exist. It's about recognizing that you can't prove that it does. Think of it this way. Your entire experience of life is filtered through your senses. What you see, hear, touch, taste, and smell is interpreted by your brain. So, how can you be sure there's anything beyond your perception? Solipsism challenges you to question whether reality is truly out there, or if it's just a construct of your mind. Where did solipsism come from? The roots of solipsism trace back to ancient philosophy, but it's most closely linked to the 17th century thinker René Descartes. You've probably heard his famous line, "I think, therefore I am." Descartes used this statement to establish that the act of thinking proves the existence of the self. Beyond that, however, he couldn't be sure of anything else. Later philosophers like George Berkeley took this further by questioning the existence of the physical world. Berkeley argued that objects only exist when they're perceived. If no one's looking at a tree, does it exist? According to Berkeley, it only does because God is always watching. Solipsism, though, takes a more extreme stance. It suggests there's no proof that anything outside your mind exists, not even God. The solipsism thought experiment. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and everything feels normal. But what if the people around you aren't real? What if they're just projections of your mind, like characters in a dream? Solipsism posits that this scenario might not be too far from the truth. Even science can't fully debunk this idea. Neuroscience tells us that everything we experience is just electrical signals processed by our brains. When you see a red apple, your brain interprets light waves and tells you it's red. But what if your brain is the only thing involved? What if there's no apple at all? It's like being in a video game where you're the only real player, and everything else is part of the code. You can't step outside the game to verify what's real. Criticisms of solipsism. Now, solipsism might sound compelling, but it has its critics. One major argument against solipsism is its practicality, or lack of it. If solipsism is true, what's the point of doing anything? Why go to work, build relationships, or even get out of bed if nothing is real? This leads many to dismiss solipsism as an intellectual curiosity rather than a serious philosophy to live by. Another issue is the problem of communication. If you're the only mind that exists, then who am I? Who are the people commenting on this video? Are they just aspects of your imagination? Solipsism struggles to address this paradox. If nothing outside your mind exists, how do you explain the consistency and complexity of the world around you? Solipsism in pop culture. Solipsism isn't just for philosophers. It's a concept that's deeply embedded in pop culture. Take The Matrix, for example. The idea of living in a simulated reality where nothing is real but your mind? That's solipsism in action. Another example is Inception, where characters question whether they're awake or dreaming. The blurred line between reality and illusion reflects solipsistic ideas. In an anime, Serial Experiments, Lane explores themes of identity and existence, diving deep into solipsistic territory. These stories resonate with us because they tap into something universal, the fear of being alone in the universe and the desire to understand our place in it. Is solipsism dangerous? While solipsism is mostly a thought experiment, some worry that it could lead to dangerous thinking. If someone truly believed in solipsism, they might dismiss the feelings, needs, or existence of others entirely. Why care about anyone else if they're not real? Thankfully, very few people take solipsism to such extremes. Instead, solipsism is better seen as a tool for self-reflection. It's a way to question the nature of reality and appreciate the mystery of existence. It's not about proving that you're the only thing that exists. It's about realizing how little we can truly know. Why does solipsism matter? So, why should you care about solipsism? Because it challenges you to think critically about the nature of reality and perception. It reminds us that our understanding of the world is limited and subjective, and it forces us to confront the big questions. What is real? How do we know? And does it even matter? In the end, solipsism might not provide definitive answers, but it opens the door to deeper exploration. Whether the world is real or just a construct of your mind, it's still your world to navigate and make sense of. And that, perhaps, is the most important takeaway. So, what do you think? Is solipsism the ultimate truth about reality, or just a philosophical illusion? Can you ever really be certain that anything exists beyond your own mind? The answer might be closer than you think, or maybe it's nowhere at all.